Welcome to 10 Minute Climate, the podcast brought to you by Beaverbrook Energy. Beaverbrook Energy helps clients navigate the energy transition, identifying the best route forward, quantifying the costs and benefits, and delivering real-world results through funded and managed projects. Join Max.
Hi, I'm Max.
And Tony.
Hi, I'm Tony.
Who between them have got over 70 years of experience in the energy industry, and they're here to share it with you. Each episode, they'll cut through myths, answer the questions you've always wanted to ask, and break down the latest news about the energy transition. It's everything you need to know, delivered in just 10 minutes. So let's get started. Welcome to 10 Minute Climate.
Have you got a log burner?
Yeah, I built 3 quite big ones. 750,000 tonnes of wood a year.
So you're too young to remember the smogs of the 1950s, where people used to die in their thousands because of burning coal, and you're doing exactly the same thing.
Well, it's not coal.
It is. It's just young coal.
Yeah, but it's biogenic carbon.
It's
so
not. No, I know you've been in the biomass business a lot, but burning wood is no better for the environment than burning coal.
Okay, it is. Stop. It is.
No,
because, no. Okay. Coal, yes, it was trees, but when was it trees? Some time ago.
Before last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's carbon that hasn't been in our biosphere, in our world, for millions of years. Okay. Mm-hmm. The carbon in trees has. It's carbon in our biosphere, and it's in a natural cycle. Tree grows, tree dies, tree rots, tree emits carbon dioxide and methane, and tree grows again. Okay, so natural carbon.
Yep.
What we're doing is accelerating that, which has a carbon penalty for a period, right? So you're in carbon debt. We're getting quite technical here, but you're pumping out the carbon faster, but the tree grows. So the question is, basically, are you okay over a 15-year time frame, which is what the biomass industry says, or is it like 100 years, 150 years, as some people say, which means biomass is contributing.
But after we've got to the feedback point through all the trees you're burning and the ecosystems collapse, there's no point in waving your sapling at me and saying, oh, but we're going to get it back in a little while. I'll tell you, I will lock you in a room with a bunch of saplings and a wood fire, right? And see how you get on.
Well, yeah, but if you but it's not just saplings, right?
But
if
the planet is the locked room.
What you need to give me is a plantation. So you give me some saplings, some middle-aged trees, and some old trees. And you know what happens to old trees? They stop growing.
Yes.
Right? They're not taking in any more carbon. They're beginning to die. So chop them down, burn them, get energy, get steam. We do combined heat and power. The steam goes to industry, helping jobs, keep industrial jobs in the UK. Right? All good. And then what we do is we're growing the trees again. And the saplings, sure, for a bit, they're not growing very fast. But middle-aged trees, they're sucking in the carbon.
So you're magically going to make middle-aged trees appear from the one you've cut down?
It's a plantation. You've got the little ones.
Right.
The medium ones.
And
the old ones, like a family.
It's a cop-out. It's a cop-out. It's still polluting the atmosphere. And for a period of time, it's just as deadly as everything else. And I have a reason.
It's not as bad as coal.
No, it's not as bad as coal.
There we go.
But that's like saying, I haven't got cholera, I've only got TB, right? It's just, you're still creating an issue for the planet, admittedly short term, but short term is less than what we've got now. If we get to positive feedback on the ecosphere, whole systems are going to collapse. Siberia's going to melt, release all the methane, all of those sorts of things are going to happen, which is not going to be a pretty outcome, because your wood burners at the bottom end of the wedge, which at the other end is a certain power station, which will remain nameless in this podcast, that actually chops trees down halfway across the other side of the planet, turns it into mulch and pellets, ships it across the world, and then burns it in the UK and says, oh, look how green we are, and gets a massive grant.
Right, okay, it does. It gets a massive grant, and it's not, the stuff we did is all local. It's much lower carbon
So you just
impact.
killed your neighbours as opposed to someone in the other side of the world.
That is a bad analogy.
Okay.
But talking about that power station, big power station, but when it was done, it was converting from coal. It is much, much, much better that is from coal. Where was the coal coming from? It wasn't coming from Yorkshire. right? The coal
Well,
was
that's
coming
only because
on
Margaret
ships.
Thatcher shut the mines down.
Maybe we won't go down that rabbit
Okay.
hole. But the coal was coming from South Africa. The wood's coming from America. It comes from somewhere. And actually, the overall carbon cycle, the carbon impact of the shipping, isn't nearly as much as you'd think it is. So, yeah, biomass is not perfect. But if you're replacing coal with biomass, I think you're onto a good thing. Obviously, you want solar and batteries. And everything will
Or
be
nuclear.
solar and batteries. Or
Nuclear.
nuclear. But we've got to wait a long time for nuclear. Would you rather have 20 years of coal and then a nuclear power station that's taken you 20 years to build, or biomass in the meantime?
In Korea, they can build them in 8 years.
Let's not go down that rabbit hole. Again, there's too many rabbit holes here, right? But biomass, better than coal, despite what people say, it is clearly better than coal.
Yes,
and a lot of
I'll
clever
give you
people
that.
have said that,
Yep.
right? It is it better than gas? Yeah, not sure. Would you much rather have wind and solar? Of course. But biomass has the other advantages. It's on all the time, right? Wind and solar aren't. You've got to have batteries. Yes, we can solve those problems. We haven't quite solved them yet. So biomass provides, on a summer's day, maybe 10% of the UK's electricity and a lot of the stability of the system, right? You've got a network. It needs to be stable. This is a big power station spinning all the time and doing all the clever things that it needs to keep the network
7%
stable.
of the UK generating capacity.
Yeah, that one power station. Add up the other biomass, you get about another 3%.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got a role. Do we want to do more of it? I don't think so. Is it something we want to do forever? Probably not. But it's not as bad as many people make it out to be. But I'm not going to say it's perfect.
Because it's also, there are now organisations which are specifically growing crops to go into biomass and biogas stations, where they're either fermenting crops to grow methane or they're burning crops to grow electricity, displacing good quality farmland. Which is an
okay,
argument
food
we've
versus
got
fuel,
elsewhere.
definitely. Yeah.
So we've got an issue. I just think there's a better solution than burning trees.
Well, there is, because actually, if you look at the usage of land and the amount of energy you get out of land, biomass it's actually solar energy, right?
Yep.
The trees
All
grow
energy is
using
solar
sun.
energy apart from nuclear.
Exactly. So
That's
the
star stuff.
the land can either grow trees, which you burn, or another crop which you digest into gas, and you get the energy that way, or you put solar panels on and you get a heck of a lot more solar.
Yes.
More energy out of the solar panels. So you should do that.
If you're going to chop the trees down, don't burn them, build solar panels and make nice wooden boats or something.
Is that how you spend your weekends?
No, I've had enough of boats a long time ago.
So I think biomass, okay for the time being, but we don't want to be doing it long term.
Fair enough.
All right.
Thanks so much for tuning in to today's episode. If you enjoyed the conversation, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us a review. It really helps us grow and continue bringing you valuable content. If you're curious to learn more about Beaverbrook Energy and how we're navigating the future of energy, feel free to reach out to us directly. And for those looking for quick, actionable insights on the energy transition, be sure to subscribe to our 10-second climate newsletter, delivered every weekend with essential intelligence to help business leaders stay ahead of the curve. We appreciate you listening, and we look forward to having you join us again next time. Stay informed, stay engaged, and take care.